Hey there, folks. Welcome in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the free-to-play. Today is the 8th of August. Dark Trooper Peridia, why would you go work on him when you can get him for free from the login calendar? Just as a happy accident. We get some of those. I'm disappointed that we only got 8 of those. What are people hoarding those? I don't know. We have a lot of energy to start with. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, today was a pretty good big day. Apparently, Disney settled with Gina Carano, which is just... They didn't want to try to go to Discovery, so... And apparently, I didn't watch Star Wars Meg, but that was the thumbnail. Disney rehires Gina Carano for The Mandalorian. And it's like, are they doing this? Because this is the problem. Okay, so last month in July, we had Superman and Fantastic Four came out. Superman was, from what I heard, had more heart. It had, act issues, and the Fantastic Four was better cinematography, and but just didn't have the heart that the Fantastic Four did. And so both of these movies lost a lot of money. And Disney has said, even after Andor, that streaming is dead, and yet, ESPN is buying the streaming rights to the WWE for like $1.6 billion, and Disney is, shutting down Hulu, which, there's this whole streaming thing of which is the better live TV service. A lot of people like YouTube TV, and my think about that is, well, of course, they advertise on everything. The Super Bowl was sponsored by YouTube TV. College football playoffs, or the national championship was sponsored by YouTube TV, and so it was everywhere for I feel like 5 years, and people are just drilling down on it. And plus, it's YouTube, so it already has the name built in. I tried it. I did not like it because switching between profiles was, I felt, too invasive. So when we've had live TV, it's always been Hulu Live because it's just, obviously, it was the one that I was first introduced to. But just for me, it was a lot more freedom because I never, I tend to be contrarian on a lot of stuff, if you haven't noticed. And the whole YouTube TV thing, I was a contrarian on that. I was like, people would talk it up. I'd be like, I'd just look at them and shake my head and no. But apparently, despite whatever, I saw that Disney made like $6.2 billion off of streaming, and so now they're going to fold up. Apparently, the scuttlebutt is they're going to end Hulu, fold everything into Disney Plus, and yet they keep telling us that streaming is dead. And why do they keep doing this? Because they keep making crap. They keep making crap that nobody wants to watch. And so what they're doing is they're banking on the fact that the WWE will be able to bring in enough revenue from their premium events, I think it's called. And they'll be able to make money off of that, which I get it. Makes sense that you would do that. I apologize for that. They've also invested a lot of money into the NFL network, or the NFL, or I think like 10% of the NFL network or something. Which is all very good. the problem is, I mean, you can do all this, but if you're hanging your future on the WWE and all of this stuff, that's not great. And when for whatever reason, they keep sorry, Disney keeps thinking that movies are going to save them. The problem is, we had this thing about 4 years ago that you might have heard of. It was called the thing, which I'm not going to mention because, reasons. But a lot of people discovered that, hey, we don't have to go outside our house if we don't want to during that. And so a lot of people are like, especially with these boxes that you can get, where you can get access to the movie very quickly. And it's like, people, I feel like a lot of people are wait and see if it's good type of thing. And with the thing that happened and what's happened to all these movies is they're overhyped. I mean, I feel like the stuff I listen to and the things I see is like nobody thought the Fantastic Four movie was going to be good. It was actually better than a lot of people thought, but it was still not good enough to make people want to go see it. I think I might have mentioned about Elio where they screened Elio for all these families, and they were like, how many of you would pay to see this movie? And nobody wanted to pay to see this movie. And so they sent it back to the studio to have it fixed. And the studio was just like, no, we're not going to do anything. And so there's a lot of hubris behind it. And I don't know. I mean, I haven't listened to Star Wars Mag, what she's talking about with all of this stuff since Andor went off, which that was, how long ago since all the Andor hype died down. And so I'm not an everyday listener of her. But it's like, does Disney Star Wars, does Disney Marvel have some idea of how to do this? Because, let's be fair, the Fantastic Four are Marvel's first family, but in my mind, they're never an A-list. They're not an A-list team. And quite frankly, until Kevin Feige came along, I never thought that the Avengers were an A-plus team. I was like, I remember growing up seeing the Avengers, and I was like, oh, that's cute. That's, I like the name, and I like the lineup, because the lineup at the time was Warbird, who was actually Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, Cap, Hawkeye, Wonder Man, maybe Iron Man, and somebody else, maybe Vision, maybe Scarlet Witch, I don't know. But Hulk was not in it, and Thor wasn't in it at the time. And I was just like, oh, that's cute. For me, growing up, the big Marvel team was always the X-Men. But, this is not a Marvel, but I'm just, letting you know. But anyway, both of these entities, Disney Star Wars and Disney Marvel, have problems that they have no idea how to solve. And despite having their butt kicked a number of times by a certain governor, they show no signs of changing how they do business. And they keep, they've made a bundle off of streaming, which is good, I guess. But what are you going to, and, you know, even after they told us when Andor ended that streaming is dead, how can you say that when you just made $6.2 million off of streaming, which was which was due, not in small part, to an Australian cartoon that you may or may not have heard of that involves a certain family of dogs. But, yeah, I don't know. I think I saw that they just ended the Star Wars, whatever, Jedi Adventure thing, which I've thought about, and I've let my kids have watched an episode or here and there of it maybe, or have seen it at least, and they're just not interested in it. And I can't say I blame them. I mean, it's a great idea, but the execution on all of this is just so poor. I mean, it's like the time of you being able to put some name on something and just have it sell out is over. People are tired of that. Why? Because everything is getting so expensive. You know, despite what certain individuals are doing, you know, the Fed refusing to lower interest rates and other such factors, it's just really hard. And you know, my father-in-law was telling me, hey, I would go to this particular restaurant here in town, and I remember that you could get the Reuben for their Reuben sandwich for $10. Well, now, I mean, this restaurant has since closed and it's reopened under new ownership, and now this Reuben is apparently $20, and my father-in-law doesn't want to pay $20 for it, and I can't say I blame him. We went to a restaurant tonight, and their Reuben was $13, but then that's all you got. It was a la carte, so you had to buy the Reuben and you had to buy sides separately. And the side of fries was $5, you know. So just for a Reuben and fries, it's $5. Even if you order water, it's $18. You're in for $18, and that's problematic to say the least. And I'm hoping that we get some relief soon, because I mean, this is not good. This is not good. Stuff needs to change, and it needs to change rather quickly. Whether it does or not, I don't know. Anyway, we're over 3 million now. We need to do our thing here with our ship, or whatever stuff. So since I have 800, let's go down here to this guy, and we're just gonna try to farm some more pieces to be able to bring them up, because we want to. So what we're gonna do is we're not gonna slice this, but we're gonna go farm some more of this. So that's not what I want to do. Let's go find, and I think it's on 3C. Yeah, 3C or 1C, whatever. So let's do 20 of these, and we'll see where we end up at. Because we're trying to have enough where we can just, when we decide to bring these guys up, we're just able to, and it's not a big deal. And I want to see, you know, see where we're at now, and then we'll go from there. We need to get, that's fine, but we need to get some other stuff too. So and this stuff is on 1C2. It's just, we're just not getting it for whatever reason. So let's do 20 more, and then we'll try, and then we'll go and do something else. So we did that. And so we have a lot of this stuff. It's good. We're in good shape. We'll have to, I'll break some of it down off screen. And so that's going to help us get a little further in. And, you know, the other side of this is, of course, we need to be able to do the chromium transistor stuff. And so we need more of this stuff, and we need more of these guys, and because we keep requesting it from the people, and they don't want to. They don't seem like they're too eager to help us out. So let's dive in, because we need a bunch of this too. So this what you're seeing here is we're getting ready for the climb. It's going to happen, and we're just waiting for it. I'm going to come back in here and do the request thing, and we're going to come in here and help fulfill what we have of a lot of stuff that other people have, because we don't want to be able to give them room to complain of hey, this guy's requesting this, but he's not helping me out. Well, guess what? I just did. But that's good. Other than that, we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to come in here and waste, how much time? Going to waste roughly 20 minutes, because depending on the amount of pulls we do, 4 seconds between the time we have ability, much less switch pages, which, is just, it's not annoying at all. How could you possibly say that? No, it's not annoying to sit here and wait for stuff. That's not a thing. And, it's okay, because we have all the time in the world, and sitting here for, however long, it's not a big deal. But back to what I was talking about earlier, I do hope that Disney corrects. I've said a number of times what I think they should do, and it doesn't seem that hard. It's just they just keep wanting to not give the people what they want, and they keep blaming the fans for not accepting the garbage that they make for us. Like it's the fans' fault that we want something that's actually good. And as long as that goes on, it's like firing Gina Carano and then ending the thing right as it gets ready to go to Discovery. And so you shut it down because you would rather just pay Gina than have to have the thing go to Discovery where they were going to lose even more money if that happened. But and so Disney, they just, they made 6.2 off their streaming service, and they just, it's a bad look when you make 6.2 off the streaming service and then you say streaming's dead, and you end up getting your butt kicked by Gina Carano, and what do I know? I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate all of you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. We're stuck in gear to go get SLKR eventually. Anyway, appreciate all of you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, like I said, blah, blah, blah. Hold the line. And remember that I have friends everywhere. Bye.